Hi guys, my name's Adele, and so we just decided to sit down and just have a little chat about a topic. We decided to talk about healing, what healing means to us, and hopefully it makes sense to you, it resonates with you. We'll talk about our different experiences we've had, what we had to do to get through it, if we got through it, and that's about it. Pass you over to Cleo.
Hi, I'm Cleo, and definitely healing for me is through self-love and learning how to love yourself, the love that you have for yourself, then you give it out to other people, and it's only something that I've learned in my 40s. So if I could spread healing through self-love, I'd love to do that for the younger generation to start now. Just so that we're all aware of methods and techniques, and especially during the current pandemic, I think if anything now is more so, we need to heal.
Yeah.
And I'll hand that over to Geena.
Hi, my name is Geena. So under the umbrella of healing, I'm going to be talking about meditation and how this is also a form of healing. A part of that also is addressing the toxicity. English is not my first language.
It's not Afrikaans. She's from Cape Town, guys. And we're from Durban, so, lots of love here, lots of love, people.
The toxic relationships and how through meditations I've addressed those issues.
Yeah.
I would also like it in being Black. There are a lot of inhibitions about meditating. It's not for us, it's for the Western world. But actually, going back to our ancestry, we used to meditate a lot. It would happen early hours of the morning, whatever time you choose, maybe dusk. So it has helped me a lot, as my friend Cleo mentioned, especially during these times of COVID, where you are alone. What do you do? What thoughts are you expressing? What energy are you putting out there? So how do you get this energy? And as you're going through this healing, what forms of meditation? So I'll be focusing on that and listening to what my friends have to share.
Won't be a long video because we know, my attention span, I get bored. So I'm not going to do a long one. It's just going to be some nice, quick topics to get you thinking. And then we'll join again next week and discuss it. And you can hit us in with if you want us to discuss certain topics. But quite short because nobody wants to be watching a long video. Handing over to Adele.
So I think when it comes to healing, one big factor for me in healing is really forgiveness. I think it's just when you forgive, you're more likely to heal. You're more likely to get over something. Like Albert Einstein says that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and then expecting the other person to die. And it's so true because you're filled with so much anger, so much hate, so much resentment and bitterness. And that's not healing. When you have those feelings, you cannot heal, you can't move forward. It just hurts, it breaks you down. Nobody wants to feel like that.
But without you even realizing that it's breaking you down. That's the thing with,
And nothing ever goes right for you when you're at that in those feelings. Nothing ever works out for you. And so it's just like a brick on top of a brick, and so
definitely.
I definitely say forgiveness is a big factor for me in my healing journey.
And I think with forgiveness on Adele's topic, what I've learned is there's different stages of it. So there's forgiveness where I've forgiven you, but I'm still working on me. I need to heal a little bit of me, just that little bit of me more, and work on me to forgive me first in order to give you full forgiveness. And I think what that really taught, or how I learned that, was through my ex passing away. I knew I'd forgiven him, but I knew that I had to work on me as well, and I had to heal that inner me for myself before I could even have a decent conversation. But he passed away, and you're not able to have that conversation, and that's when you actually realize, well, now you're gonna have to forgive whether you like it or not. And it's
without an apology from the person,
nothing.
without an explanation,
Nothing.
without even talking.
And you won't always get an apology from that person when you forgive them. So expect that too.
But I say time because if he could have given me time to get there, to be at that forgiveness level, to take the next step of forgiveness, it would have been easier. But I've now, and I'm still dealing with it every day. I'm still healing. I'm still self-loving.
It's a journey.
It's something that's not just going to happen overnight. And I think that's why I'd like the younger generation to know that we don't have all the answers. We're learning as well, and we want to teach you what we know at a younger age, because we want you to understand the process of life and how you need to move forward for your own sanity, you know, because social media, everything bombards us and we forget about us sometimes. But I'll hand over to Geena.
Going to forgiveness, just picking up a little on what you've both said. When you forgive somebody, you're dealing with yourself. So taking that into meditation, people always think meditation is you gotta have this music around you and be up on top of a hill or something. But sometimes just meditating, for me, I found, it's just taking that one word that is positive. What am I dealing with at that time? And then meditating on that, and just journaling. I love to write. Writing down, whether it be anger, how am I meditating on that? Whether it be forgiveness, whether it be with a relationship that I've not been in a good place with. How do I meditate on that? And for me personally, it's waking up early hours of the morning before dusk, or even dawn, in a quiet place. It could be anywhere in the house. My favorite spot is a corner. I have plants in the corner, so I sit there, just sealed off from everything. And the reason why I say early hours of the morning, because the world is quiet. Everybody's asleep. There's no interruptions.
It gets clear in the morning.
It gets clear, and your head is clear. And sometimes I go back to bed, sometimes I don't. But when I wake up in the morning, I just have this positiveness in because I've addressed that issue, whatever it is that's troubling me. I've going back, forgiveness or whatever it is, letting a loved one that has passed on know that, you know what, I've released myself. And also, not for the topic of meditation to be a taboo, because in our Black community it's frowned upon. Not everyone is accepting, but I think the current pandemic has exposed that there are a lot of issues or situations that we need to address and we don't. And there's all the time in the world, guys, in between working from home. Y'all not telling me that you're working all the time from home. You need, even if it's just 5 minutes, there's no time for it. But we'll just go deeper into this as we go by week.
I think meditating is amazing, honestly. I never used to before, and then when I started meditating, it makes such a difference, even if it's a couple of minutes a day. And like you said, just writing things down. Like I started writing affirmations about 8 months ago, and so I'd write them down in a book. So not only speak them, I write them down. And honestly, the difference it made in my mind, after a couple of months, I really just felt so much better. And that I wrote down my goals, and just little goals. It doesn't have to be major ones. But even goal planning for the day, just planning what you're going to do the next day. Be it I'm just going to wash the dishes, tick it off your list. Do the washing, tick it off the list. Feed my kid, tick off the list.
It falls back to self-love, getting up and doing the little things in the morning. So being grateful for the little things that you do, being grateful for the things that you can control, being grateful for your mood that you're in. If your thoughts are positive, and it's hard, it's a work in progress, but if you constantly get a bad thought, pick it out, deal with it, let it slide. Think of a river, let it flow, like leaves on a river, let it flow. You can't deal with it, you can't change the situation, so why are you going to be anxious about it? Why are you going to be depressed about it? Control what you can now. So that's my message anyway, a lot of self-love, inclusive of medication. But before we go, I just want to go, sorry.
English is not our first language.
It actually is. I got an A in English.
Allegedly.
Anyway, just taking me off thought now. But with meditation, I just wanted to let me know, because I started with a candle, and obviously I thought you have to sit in that awkward position all the time, but you don't. You can actually lay down. It's just about sealing off everything. Some people meditate with music, but what actually works for you?
For me, it's music and being outdoors. If I can, if the weather's good, I live in West Wales, I will go outside because I love nature. For me, nature meditates on its own. the way the wind is in harmony, with the sun. It sounds corny, but it's meditating on its own. So being outdoors, and if I can't, the music that I play, it's to do with outdoors, and it helps me settle. And then I go into my train of thought and just sealing myself from the world.
No, I agree. I definitely think what my meditation choice. So I like at night, I have a YouTube one, it's called like Abundance and Prosperity. Maybe I'll put like the link in at the bottom, and it just plays music in the evening, but that really puts me in like just a good mood for the evening. And then once I get off to sleep in the morning, when I wake up, I always start my day with journaling like 3 things that I'm grateful for. English is my second language. But I write like 3 things that I'm grateful for.
But she's actually lying. Sorry, English is her first language. That is such a lie, Adele. Speak the truth. Can't speak it, but she is. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Right. Wrap it up.
But, I write 3 things that I'm grateful for in the morning, and I feel like it really helps me so much. But also, I do take like a few minutes out of the day, and I'll sort of just. I prefer no music, so I just prefer like quietness. I don't know why it works for me, but I prefer silence, and I'll just sit and try and like just take all thoughts out of my head. And like you said, focus on a word. So I'll think of a word. If it's the start of the day, then I'll think of a word how I want my day to go, like happiness, peaceful. If I want if I got things to do, I'm like productive, and I'll focus on that word, and that's about it. And it helps me, because when I come out of that meditative, I'm like, okay,
continue with their positiveness, because I think one thing we want to leave
intention for the day. So
100%. And one thing we want to leave you with, if you want to discuss anything about it, we will be elaborating on these headings next week. So we will be actually teaching you some techniques that you can take away with you and do in your own time, and some positive way again to train your mind, to train your thoughts, and just how to stay positive during this time, how to focus on the kids,
and how to heal. Because the thing is, sometimes when you're in a relationship and you're going through such like a bad state, or anything, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a work colleague, and you're going through such a hard time, it's really, really hard to do all these things. It's really hard to heal from that, to forgive, to self-love, to meditate when you're just down in the dumps, and you're just upset, and you're bitter, you're angry. It's really hard. But I think that it's so it's even more important to talk about these things, just so that we're more aware, and that's just so that everybody goes through these things. People are going through it right now, but
and also just it's baby steps. We are still on a journey of healing. We are not complete, and we're not saying we look like we've got it all together here, but there's people out there that possibly think like we do, and just think, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm just going to suppress it, I'm going to shrink it. You'll hear me talk a lot about shrinking as we go on this journey. We're going to shrink what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, but we want not just ourselves, for adults, but even the young people, the children, because they are the forgotten people in this pandemic. We think because we have it together and we're keeping ourselves strong for them, that they are not going through emotions as well. So to introduce it to them, that meditation is like I said, it's just it's for any age, and just that one word. You wake up in the morning, like today my day was productive. So after this wedding, I got a lot of productivity to carry out, and I intend to do it. But I may not do everything, but even if it's just a little bit, that was my word for me this morning. And tomorrow it could be something else. It could be pain. Deal with it. But it's baby steps.
Sometimes don't you think, like, if you were younger, when you have loved to have just known about meditation, about self-love. I mean, like, maybe we did in a way, self-love, maybe we did in a way, but I think like meditation, forgiveness, healing, I would have loved to have known this like at a much younger age, because I think it would have definitely helped me a lot more on my journey
on how to deal with your inner emotions and how you feeling, because your mum and dad can be in the room next door but you're feeling miserable, don't know why, what's going on. So if we just give a little bit of techniques, a little bit of skills, and move on with that for next week.
So hopefully we're going to catch up with you, and you've been a little bit intrigued.
hopefully.
And join us in. Don't mind us. We still rough around the edges.
Sophie,
Be on a journey.
She is. But do join us for the techniques.
We are on a journey.
Add what you want to add in the bottom if you'd
Ask
like.
us questions.
And we'd answer them next week.
Yeah.
See you
next
soon.
week.
Bye.